in here.
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when...
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control jewels like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master sword? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handle the jewels, then we get some answers. Hurricane
Go for the weak point!
Burn!
I'll stop its charge! Thanks, Kisara!
Dragon Form! Try this! Explosive ray!
Mega ray!
Tempest!
With the here goes with it! More where that came from! Annihilation in the wind! Radiant light! Here goes! Here goes! Not on my watch! Eagle ray! Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy glimmer!
Armor won't save you!
Back into the
It's
fray!
on!
Raging
Burn!
Mega field! By the power of Gale Force! More where that came from! Raging
Force!
cascade! Lightning!
Try this!
Dance on the wind!
Flame of spirit! Burning
Dragon
Light Master energy!
Don't suffer in the
Dinar! Raging cascade blaster!
Dragon
I'll
Form!
heal you all! Light
Negative
Master
gate!
dance in the wind!
Take this!
Healing field!
No further!
I'll be saving this one! Need to pull myself
Tempest!
together! Supernova! Annihilation! More with that number! Finish the fray! Thunder blade!
Try harder!
prepared
My
and
turn!
free from regret.
Take this! It's over!
Raging line!
Soda!
That'll bring you down!
On your
Burn!
knees!
Dance in the wind!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Dragon Form!
Energy! Dance in the wind!
Try this!
Spirit Aura!
Explosive ray!
Astral energy!
Elusive deity!
Lightning!
Rotating
Downfall!
pile driver!
Here, let me help!
I'll smash you!
Dance
I
in!
thank you!
Air thrust!
Elusive
Light
deity!
Astral! Flame of spirit!
Like Russia!
Raging cascade! Lunar
Can't here!
I couldn't make it in time.
Saving this one!
From
Here's a
beyond,
healing arc!
imbued
More
its strength with
hurricane!
soul with
Illuminate the dark!
Resuscitation.
Unforced! Lightning!
Not
Dance in
the
the wind!
Resonate with the earth! You require a
Photon! Lightning to death!
in a vine!
Wide open!
It won't escape me!
Soda!
Pull myself together!
I'll grind you into dust!
Annihilation! Dance in the wind! In here! More for the stockpile! Lunar corruption!
Dragon Form!
Power of where that came from!
Elusive deity!
Lightning supernova! This one's mine! Where are you going?
Dragon
Take this!
Burn in hell!
Here tonight, illuminate the dark!
Armor won't
Come
save
forth,
you!
here goes!
I owe you!
Holy Wind Blazer! Not in your dreams! Tempest Whirl! Here's a healing arc! First
Elusive
aid!
deity! Rotating pile driver!
Lunar Punch!
Handle it.
Raging Star!
Far enough!
Try
I'll
harder!
heal you
My
all!
turn! It's over!
Here goes! Here's a nest! Healing circle!
Dragon Form!
Need to pull myself together.
Bloody hell! It's on! Not today!
Benediction light.
Stardust! I owe you one.
You require a help.
Photon, lightning
Dragon
descent!
Swarm!
Thunderblade! Illuminate the vision! Hit me! Holy fire! Do it! Now!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Radiant light! Searing
Shattering
flame!
pieces! Attack time!
Dragon Swarm! Wind!
On the wind!
Stardust!
It's about to strike! Where are you going?
Look sharp, everyone!
Elusive deity!
I can handle it! Not on my watch!
Heal!
Light escalator!
Try harder! My turn!
Lightning!
Easter!
Downfall! Champion! Will this help? Here goes! One more! Heal! Don't leave me! Searing flame! Reload! I'm out of ammo!
Use too much.
Thunderblade! Illuminate the dark! Mega reload! Searing flame! Reload!
Now we're not. In a bind, take this!
Will this help? Light escalator! Lightning!
Carve through armor!
Healing circle!
Eagle ray!
Glacial spear! Where's evil? Radiant pierce! Illuminate the dark! One hot light! Holy glimmer!
Try harder! No!
Champion! Flame! Reload! Brutal! Lightning! I can handle it! Here's a healing arc! First aid!
I'll face you!
Powered up! Better!
Dragon
Flame! Reload!
So you clamor for my true power?
I'm out of ammo! Here goes! Lightning descent!
I'll blind you with a death!
Thunderblade! Lightning! Illuminate the dark! Hug form! Holy glimmer! Lightning! Holy land! Downfall!
Behold! The earth pulse! Tectonic fission! Beckoned into everlasting
Ready to go!
darkness.
Stardust!
Negative gate!
Radiant pierce!
Shattering the pieces! Can't get out of
Ready
this!
to go!
Burn it
Raging
out!
cascade!
I'll smash you! Elusive deity!
Mega ray!
Hitting
Annihilation!
Ha!
Lightning condense! Thunderblade! Now radiant pierce! Three!
You'll pay for that!
By the power of
Elusive
the
deity!
sky is mine! Mega ray! This one's mine! It's weakened!
Dragon Swarm! This ends now!
I've still got the fight left in me! Healing circle!
Thanks! Elusive deity! Sorry to trouble you.
Holy
You do the same to me.
Downfall! Here's a healing arc!
Stardust!
It's a first aid!
Pistol! Burn in hell!
Here!
Can you take it?
Stardust!
Taste it!
Here!
I'll blind you with a shot!
Here's a healing
Prepare
arc!
to be freed!
Radiant
Take
sword!
this!
Here goes! Not on my watch!
Stardust!
Raging sword!
I can carve through armor!
Radiant pierce! Here goes! Lunar corruption!
Stay away from my friend!
It's
gonna attack!
Right, watch out!
Double the flame inside me! Yours to be laid free!
Mega ray! I'm ready!
Double demon fang!
execution!
Mega ray!
Everlasting darkness!
Let them mark me!
Handle this!
Can't end here!
Another incantation! Ruin!
A new lease on life!
Beyond! Imbued its vanquished soul with life! Resuscitation! Benediction light! Heal!
Take this!
From beyond! Imbued its vanquished soul with life! Armor light! Save you! Resuscitation!
First aid!
Thanks!
I've still got some fight left.
Dragon Swarm!
Flame of fury!
You require a hand!
No more play!
in a bind?
Gravitas field!
I'll thank you.
Back into the fray! Annihilate! Can't be happening!
You! Stay away from my friend!
Rest on the wind.
Denied!
This should do it!
Seismic rupture. Elusive deity.
This one's all mine! Ignite!
From beyond, imbue this
Dragon
vanquished
form!
soul with life. Resuscitation.
What was I thinking?
Heal. From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life.
Shattering them
to pieces. Attack time.
Shadow Aqua! I cannot fight lightning! Downfall!
Dragon form!
Feel!
Elusive deity.
Lunar correction!
I'm ready. I'm ready.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Now it's just her! Faria, can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning! The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more.
Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You? Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kalzalik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion,
Huh?
thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way. Soon, we might have to be ready to find determined. Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
I think I can make this work.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danan astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Danan. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the Master Cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the Sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new Sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 Sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the Sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a Sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign, and Volron as well. The significance of this look... location would suggest.
Hey, it looks like the terminal's in here.
Naori,
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Renan never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori...
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen. That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me. It made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen. but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening.
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign, that's what I hoped. But, alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma, my only choice, the time needed for even if by doing so, please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could—
Wait, you can't just—
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danan voice speaking through?
These are the clothes.
So you're saying that
That's right.
And they appeared now?
Naori must have left—
These outfits are direct.
Locating the Renis Alma.
It makes sense by that logic.
We have a maiden. Now all we need is Shion.
It's possible?
I do.
However,
You're right.
Just hearing there's—
No, it isn't!
Rinwell's right.
Thank you.
Starting,
Yeah, we've come—
Yeah!
I too
and they say,
How do you... Now let's get... So she's... But then...